Do you have a bath after discharging? Whether you have a wet dream or if you've had intimacy with your wife, do you have a bath after it?
I do ghusl.
Ghusl, why?
Because it says ghusl in the Quran.
It doesn't say after the intimacy with your wife. Show me now in the Quran where it says that you have to have ghusl after intimacy with your wife or after janaba. Show me.
It doesn't
Show me. Why do you have ghusl then?
The distribution of war booty, and it mentions whatever the Prophet gives you, take it, and whatever he doesn't give you, don't take it. So the context is war booty. It's not in relation to the guidance. Correct or incorrect?
Read it now. When we take it out, we'll see what it talks about.
Inshallah.
Okay? And there are many more examples.
Well, please educate me.
We'll educate each other.
Inshallah.
وَمَا أَتَاكُمْ.
It's amazing. It's doing amazing well in spite of the cuts.
You know what surah it's in?
We are rapidly heading towards some kind of nuclear apocalypse because we're attaining Trident.
By the way, this is a very big topic, so inshallah, I hope that we can discuss it some other
Oh
point
yeah.
also.
No. We can do it now.
Because this is something that I have not had the opportunity to properly discuss, and I'm interested to get the best possible feedback on the topic.
So do you personally pray?
I do.
Then why do you pray if it's not mentioned how to pray in the Quran?
Okay, do you know what the Quran says about Salah? I know because I've looked at every single ayah on the topic.
Okay, what does the Quran say about Salah?
Iqama, standing.
Yeah.
Ruku', sujood.
Yeah.
It mentions mentioning of the word of Allah in there.
Yeah.
It mentions wudu, even tayammum it mentions in there.
Okay, but not how to do that.
Pardon?
But not how to do wudu.
Actually it does. It mentions your hands, it mentions your face, it mentions your feet, it mentions your head.
Okay.
It mentions all of them.
Okay.
Allahu Alam, I'm just
In every detail.
well, this is the thing. You cannot say we do this now. We don't find it in the Quran, therefore it's missing.
Okay.
I'm saying the logical trajectory is what does the Quran say? Is our practice in accordance with that?
Okay.
Because let's say, for the sake of argument, if we talk to the Jewish people who accept the Talmud, they will say that our practice comes from the Talmud. We don't find it in the Torah, and in fact, this is the argument they make. They argue backwards.
Where is the war bit? Where is the booty bit?
Okay. ما أفاء الله على رسوله من أهل القرى. So basically what Allah has given to the Rasul من أهل القرى, from the people of the
town
areas.
Of the town.
So what is that? What did Allah give to him from there? Was it revelation or was it booty or was it what?
Who said that?
I'm asking you, is that revelation?
Yes, it is revelation.
ما أطاع الله من أهل القرى. What is
Now,
that?
are you imposing now a meaning on the Quran?
I'm telling you, there's no logical way you can interpret that as revelation.
No, your logic is not what interprets the Quran. Agreed?
No. Is that revelation?
No, this is the point now. You would rather use your logic to find a context of the Quran than the prophetic tradition.
The prophetic tradition is not historically reliable. It is contradictory
Why?
with the Quran.
Why is it not historically reliable? Now let's talk about that first. Now that we know you're using your logic to interpret the Quran, I reject your logic. Your logic is as good as.
أفلا تتفكرون أفلا تعقلون.
What does it mean? What does it
Do
mean?
you not think? Do you not use your mind?
No. It's not telling you to use your logic to interpret
But it's
the
a
Quran.
repeated refrain for a reason.
Now you're doing exactly what you're accusing people like me of.
You're
right?
blindly accepting narration.
No,
That's not using your mind.
I do not understand the Quran from my own logic. I don't. I refuse to do that because
Allah
I know.
tells you can. Why don't you do it?
No, Allah is not telling you to use your logic to understand the Quran. Where is He asking?
Where is He telling you to
أَفَلَا
take
يَتَ- And when the verses أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Yeah, you're going to tell me the verses. اختلافا كثيرا. Okay, here Allah is giving you a specific question. If there are discrepancies, if there are contradictions in the Quran, then it is not from Allah. Okay?
Correct.
Here Allah is not asking you to interpret the Quran or do ta'weel of the Quran or tafsir of the Quran from your own logic. Allah is asking you to go and find contradictions. Right?
No, He's saying that if you consider it deeply, they would have.
So now we have a disagreement. You want to use logic over the hadith. I don't want to do that. I would rather go to the Prophet, okay, to interpret the Quran than come to people like you or someone else. Right?
How about we make the Quran the muhaymin on this topic?
And who makes it muhaymin? When you say muhaymin, one verse is muhaymin over another, who interprets the first verse to make it muhaymin for another?
Because Allah has made
like you have done just now.
Quranun mubinun.
Okay. Mubin in what sense?
It is clarifying and in itself also clear.
Okay. So when Allah
And
says
mufassal, detail.
Logic
Okay,
is subjective.
okay.
Your logic will make.
So where did you get the? How do you pray? How do you pray?
I follow the guidance of the Quran on that topic. I
Quran
can give you a
doesn't tell you
document.
where do you place your hands.
Irrelevant.
No, that's very relevant. And let's not, try to slip out of arguments. Let's be straight and deal with the question. How do you pray? As a Muslim, I'm asking, how do you pray? When you say Allahu Akbar,
I don't do that.
So you don't do that. What do you do?
Because the hand raising and even the position of the hands, it is in the history of Islam not consistent.
When do you pray? How often do you pray?
Wait.
Okay, let me finish my point. I'll talk to you. The followers of Malik,
I'll show you the consistency.
Malik and his people, the practice of
I'm asking you,
the
forget
practice
Malik.
of Makkah, have your hands like this. Other people
How
they
do
do
you
like
pray?
this.
How do you pray?
I stand, recite Quran,
How
I
do
bow,
you stand?
and I do sujood.
How do you stand?
If Allah gives a piece of information, that's all you need. Adding all these extra details, you're going backwards.
But you say you pray. The Quran says, وَأَقِيمُ الصَّلَاةِ.
Na'am.
Establish prayer. How? I'm asking you, how do you establish prayer? Simple question.
I just answered the question.
No, you haven't answered the question. You're not telling me how.
Standing.
How do you stand? I want to demonstrate. I pray like this. I've just demonstrated how I pray. How do you pray?
Stand.
How do you
bow,
stand?
Go down to prostrate.
Can you show me? How do you stand and how do you bow and how do you?
I'm standing.
I just demonstrate. Look, this is simple.
You're making it a bit difficult.
Yeah, I'm saying this is how I pray. Allahu Akbar.
Okay, you're going the wrong way around. You're following these extra things and saying it's not in the Quran. Stand means stand. There's nothing else to it.
Okay, how do you stand? How do you start the prayer? Let's say you are now starting the prayer. How do you start the prayer? What do? You see the difficulty now? There's a reason why you cannot answer this question. Or you refuse to answer this question.
No, I can't.
There's a reason. Because you do not have a consistent standard to stand by. You are in trouble.
Your standard is basically the what's the word? The consensus of people hundreds of years.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You don't know what my standard is.
The Hadith literature.
Have you studied the
was
science of Hadith? Have you studied it?
Actually, I have a good idea, but yes.
So you haven't studied it.
Okay.
The answer is you haven't studied
Let's
it.
discuss it right now. You can tell me
Okay.
if I've studied it.
How can you judge a science without studying it?
Okay.
How can you judge it?
I have read it up. I know a good about
What have you read?
I have read about the different approaches taken to make it da'if, to say what's the chain of narration, how do you analyze the chain of narration.
Okay, tell me what is the definition of Sahih Hadith?
Well,
Hassan Hadith.
The definition of Sahih. Hassan is another thing. Tell me what. The easiest question to a basic student of science of Hadith is, what is the definition of Sahih Hadith?
so the Sahih Hadith, and I'm not going to say I have the definition because I don't care about the definition. I'm studying the methodology.
No. Look, you are challenging a science
Yes.
and criticizing it without
yes.
having known it. You don't know it.
I'm familiar with the methodology taken of how they supposedly judge the Rijal. I'm familiar with how they consider whether it's mutawatir, whether it's sahih, whether it's...
Okay, what books of Rijal did you study? Name one. You just mentioned the word Rijal. And the science that deals with the question of Rijal is called Ilm al-Rijal. What book have you studied on Ilm al-Rijal? One book, name one.
Justify for me the logic of the Ilm al-Rijal and how it's possible to have actually done it.
So you haven't studied it. I'm going very systematically. I'm focused on the discussion, and I will request that you remain focused also. Right?
No, you're not being focused. We're talking about is the Quran enough?
You are the one.
Does it talk about Hadith? You're going to other areas which are not relevant to that topic.
You have made two claims. That the Quran doesn't talk about Hadith.
Yes,
it does.
give me evidence.
It does.
Give me
the evidence I'm giving you, you're putting your own spin on it. You're using your logic to spin it.
You're not using any logic, but you're
I am. For example,
Allah, how is that min ahl al-Quran? How is that Hadith?
Okay, when the Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم.
Yep.
When the Quran says,
You've just
wait,
answered yourself.
wait. When the Quran says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. When the Quran says, for example, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. What is the term dhikr here? What does it mean in this?
You've taken all of
Or
this
when
out
the
of
Quran,
context.
or when the Quran says, for example, in Surah Al-Najm, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. What does that mean? When Muhammad
Yep,
speaks,
let's focus on that one.
let's focus on all of them in context. You said the Quran determines the context of
Yes.
verses, and I agree with you.
You take it out of context. That's the problem.
Okay.
Your
According
context
to
is
you,
hadith.
no, but you have to understand something. You're using your logic, and you're
saying I'm
and
taking
he's
it out
using, he's using tradition that he has actually got backup for.
What's the backup exactly?
Ilmul Rijal.
There's no backup.
Isnad,
There's no backup in the
Isnad.
Quran for it.
One second. Isnad, Matan. Also, your argument will eventually go against yourself because Hadith, Bukhari, etc. were preserved in a very, very similar way to the way the Quran is preserved.
No, they were not.
And it comes down to us.
They were not. How did the
Yes, they
Quran?
were. How did they come down?
Read Surah Al-Fatiha. Read it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا and so on.
Great. Which qira'ah is this? What qira'ah is this?
This is a key important topic actually. The hadith literature is the biggest enemy against the authenticity of the Quran.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes,
it's
it is.
not.
Because it talks about
you have
ahruf.
made it like that.
It talks about ahruf. It says that there are these variant readings.
Listen, if
which,
you,
which
if,
people
if,
like Arthur Jeffrey and others have
when
used
you
as a
don't
weapon
study,
against it.
because people are erroneously attacking the Quran,
Based upon the hadith.
using material, hadith, inauthentic hadith material to attack the Quran, you throw away the baby with the bathwater, right?
So you
say, okay, throw the baby away and throw the bathwater away.
You don't
with it.
believe in different readings, right?
I do.
You do?
I do.
That's in
And
the hadith, right?
Listen. Have you studied the Quran? You are a Quranist, right? I assume you're a Quranist.
I don't use that term.
I use that term because you
That's
are.
your choice.
You are that. You
You're
have
a
the-
hadithist. How do you like
No,
that?
I'm a
No, he
Muslim.
believes in
I'm a
Quran as well.
traditionist.
You're a hadithist.
I'm a traditionist.
Hadithist. You're saying I'm a Quranist, you're hadithist.
No, I'm a traditionist. Yeah, hadithist. Call me a hadith.
Ahlul hadith.
Ahlul hadith. Thank you. I'm happy with that.
I'm Ahlul Quran.
Okay. No,
Which is
you,
superior?
you are against the Quran if you are calling yourself the Quran only
You're
Muslim.
against the
It
Quran
doesn't
by
exist.
worshipping, by following guidance outside
Let me come
of it,
back to the
like
question of Quran. How was the Quran preserved?
Well, if you follow the hadith in several
No,
different ways.
no hadith. How was the Quran preserved? Without hadith. Put hadith aside.
Because
Put
if
it
you use the
aside.
hadith, the Quran was not preserved.
I'm saying hadith gone. Out of the question now. You do not have hadith. Put it aside. Throw it in the sea.
Alhamdulillah.
No, alhamdulillah. No, we'll see. Now we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. How do we get to the Quran? I, as a skeptical individual in the 21st century, don't care about hadith. I want to get to the most ancient copies or the most ancient text of the Quran. How do I get to it?
So before I go there, where do you find it in the hadith?
I said throw the hadith in the sea. I've already done that.
Because you're
why do you
trying
need
to make- you're
why
trying
do
to
you
make
need
an
hadith to
argument
defend
that you can't answer yourself.
something you disbelieve in? You don't believe in hadith.
True.
You're trying to use it to defend your argument. I'm asking you, how do I get to the Quran? The Quran of the Prophet. How do I get to it?
So the position
As a skeptical Muslim in 21st century, I want to get to the original text, the original words the Prophet uttered. How do I get to
You
it?
will not get that in the hadith. The hadith in fact says it.
Hello. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? My name is Adnan. What's your name? Marwan, hadith is gone. We're not discussing hadith anymore. I'm asking you a very simple question. How do I get to the Quran of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
It's not the Quran of Muhammad.
What he taught as the Quran. How do I get to it?
Well, that is a difficult thing of historical analysis.
So why do you believe in it?
I believe in it through my own study of it in terms of its coherence.
So
and
you've
its
studied
context.
it. Can you explain to me what you have studied? How do I get to it?
How was the Quran preserved?
Don't worry about it. We'll get.
Okay.
How do I get to it?
Be specific in your question.
How do I get to Surah Al-Fatiha? I need evidence that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually taught it. Who knows? Abu Hanifa might have made it up. Malik might have
How
made
do
it
you
up.
know it wasn't made up by the
even or Ubay bin Ka'b.
Without using hadith literature.
By the same way that somebody at that time would have accepted the text It's
Who?
by
Who accepted it?
the people in his time.
How do you know?
So it came through the people.
Wait, man, you're jumping the gun.
Listen,
I'm
okay.
trying to take it step by
You're
step.
asking a question,
Yeah.
let me answer.
Yeah.
By the same approach that he
Which approach? Which approach?
Don't interrupt, man. Have
Yeah.
some etiquette, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. By the same approach that logically a person of that time may have assessed it. In their time, they may have assessed it based upon the language, based upon the content, or what have you. Let me finish. In my time,
How do I know they're telling me the truth? How do I know they're telling me the truth? Why should I accept? Someone attributed a statement to Muhammad and I have to accept it. Why? Give me the reasons why. Why?
I analyze it based upon its own testimony, its own content.
So you don't do that with hadith? You don't do that with...
The hadith are inconsistent, irrational,
To you,
and also are not.
to you have put two things in front of you. They are exactly the same in the process of preservation.
No,
you
they're
choose,
not. They're not
you
at
choose
all.
to believe one and you reject the other because it has
they're not at all
certain
the same.
problems.
They're not at all the same.
Okay, now tell me then, how do I conclusively, or with certainty, with absolute level of certainty, reach the Quran of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? I want to know.
You have to do various things, historical analysis.
Give me
historical
one.
studies.
Hello, why you... Listen, we've
speaking
already
very
spent 5 minutes on
vaguely.
this question. You're not giving me answers.
Okay, I challenge you to even answer that slightly.
What? Slightly what?
Yeah, because if you say throw the hadith in the sea, even with the hadith, I challenge you to give me single
look,
evidence.
hadith
about
to
that.
you is as good as Harry Potter. We've removed it.
It's worse than Harry Potter.
Okay, no problem. Gone. You happy? Happy? Now can you show me the Quran coming to us? I need to know with certainty that what you read as Quran today was actually said by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I need the proper process. I should be able to believe it.
Well,
You have nothing.
you have nothing either by that.
No,
regard.
no, no, no.
I'm asking. You're the Quranist. I'm the Hadithist. You're the Quranist.
But you're asking a question you cannot answer.
Look, wait.
I challenge you to
you're
answer
not
that
understanding. I'm the Hadithist. I'm already defeated. I'm gone. I'm in the sea. I'm destroyed. Okay, already. You're the Quranist, the superior one.
Yes.
Can you now, with your superior knowledge of the Quran and its preservation, tell me how the Quran came to you? How do you know that what you just read there from Surah Al-Fatiha was actually said by Muhammad 14 centuries ago? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tell me.
A part of that is, as I said, my reading and analysis of the Quran.
Which is
and-
what?
Mister, leave me finish the question.
Yes,
Or
please.
statement, please.
Yes.
It's the analysis of it and my own assessment of it as being the word of God, and
Explain.
also
Can you?
and also listen, and also having a text which is consistent, as far as I'm aware, in terms of its historical trajectory. Okay. Now,
Can you explain that to me?
You're asking a question that is impossible to answer, even for you.
Marwan is telling me in the year 2017,
Yes.
16th of April,
Yes.
that I have studied it and I believe. Marwan is completely irrelevant to me. I don't care what Marwan has to say. I want a proper historical process which Marwan uses to reject other sources and applies to the Quran, but is not consistent in his application. Wait,
We can do textual analysis,
Okay.
which will
How?
eliminate the hadith
How?
easily.
Okay. Forget. I'm saying I've already accepted defeat.
You're
I'm a
saying,
hadithist.
how do I judge
I'm a
this based
hadithist
upon
from
that?
Ahlul Hadith. I'm already defeated. I'm gone.
Yes.
I'm finished.
Good.
You're the Quranist. I'm asking you, tell me how the Quran came to you. Can you explain the process in about 2 minutes to me? Cut it short. Give me a summary. That
Define what you mean by the process exactly.
how do you know Surah Al-Fatiha
Yes.
was actually read by Muhammad 14th century
Where
ago?
do you get it from? How has it come down to you?
No, how do you know? How do you know? Explain.
My knowledge is based upon faith and analysis
And what is that analysis? Analysis of what?
of the Quran as a coherent text, as a logically consistent text.
What is the Quran? What is the definition? Okay, good question. What is the definition of the Quran?
You're asking a question, you need to define it.
You're a Quranist.
Define the question, mister.
I'm already
Define
defeated.
the question.
I am not.
Define the question. You're asking what is
You're
the
the
Quran? What do you mean by that?
You're the teacher. I'm the student. You're superior. I'm inferior. I'm defeated. I'm gone. I'm trying to learn as a skeptical student, as a troublemaker who gives trouble to the teachers. Can you please tell me what the Quran is? Can you explain what is the
consist
Quran?
of? What does it consist of? What is it?
No.
The Quran.
No. That's a different story. What is Quran? What is Quran? Simple.
It is the guidance from Allah, the recital. It is the reminder. It is the criterion, and many of the other criteria of it. It is the book that I accept in 114 surahs that I believe to be a consistent text, which I've analyzed to the best of my ability. It is a text which is the common text among the majority of the Muslim Ummah. It is when I have been looking at people's analysis of the history and transmission of the Quran, it to me makes sense as a realistically preserved book.
According to that definition, anyone can write a book of 114 chapters and has claimed guidance in it.
Yeah.
So you are referring to a specific text called the Quran.
Yes.
Right, with specific content.
Yes.
Now, you're claiming that specific content is what Muhammad taught.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
To the best of your knowledge. Can you now explain why, to the best of your knowledge, that is what Muhammad taught?
So first thing is, that is actually a huge topic, and it's also off the side from where we're talking about. Give me any evidence from the Quran that the Hadith is required.
This is directly
Marwan.
No,
It's not.
Marwan.
We're talking about, give me the evidence from the Quran that the Hadith is required.
Marwan.
Give me one, and I will accept it.
Marwan.
One.
Marwan.
You're going to a different
I have
topic.
I've already conceded defeat. I am defeated.
Well,
I'm saying
we have nothing to talk
I
about.
surrender. I put down my weapons.
No, we have nothing to
He's
talk about.
defeated. He's asking you to
I'm
prove.
asking, you're the Quranist, I'm the Hadithist, I'm gone. I'm in the sea. I've been thrown into the sea. I'm asking, you're the Quranist, you believe in the Quran. Now, it's been now nearly 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Because you
posing the
diverted.
same question.
This is not a discussion.
This
I
is
asked
a
you a question.
discussion.
It's not. You're diverting.
I have already
I'm
conceded
asking
defeat.
you. Well, then what's the purpose of discussion?
This
Now
discussion,
he's asking
because
you a
I'm
question.
asking you, and I'm going to show you by your own
Give me
reasoning,
one
by your
example.
own reasoning that you are inconsistent.
I'm not
You're
inconsistent.
completely
You're
inconsistent.
inconsistent. Give me every
There
evidence
is
of
a
the hadith.
reason why you cannot explain to me how the Quran came
You
to
can't do it either. The hadith in fact
I
contradicts
can,
yourself.
but I'm not claiming it. I can.
You
I know
cannot.
exactly what I'm talking. You know what I'm doing here? I know exactly what I'm doing here.
Man, I've watched you before. I know what you're doing.
Okay, okay, good. So you know what I'm doing, right?
Let's see you try it.
So I'm for the past 15 minutes.
That's what he's trying to do.
I think those who have a little bit of sense, little brain cells, can see that you are not able to answer a simple question.
The
How
question
do
you're
you
asking
know?
is not simple, and you cannot answer it.
He's asking why you believe what you believe.
I have already conceded defeat. I am defeated.
That's not the way you
I'm
discuss.
gone. I'm
You're
saying
supposed to justify your position.
You're a
Which is the
Quranist.
question I asked you.
Wait, you're a Quranist. I am now asking you to explain to me, why are you a Quranist? Why? What conviction do you have in the text of the Quran? And how do you know Muhammad said what you claim he said 14 centuries ago? Let's say Alhamdulillah, Surah
Okay,
Al-Fatiha.
Why am I a Quranist? Because I've done a few things. Number one, I have read the Quran. I have much to learn.
But how do you know it's from Muhammad?
Let me finish.
But you read the Quran, how do you know it's from Muhammad? That's the fundamental question. How do you know it's from Muhammad?
Muhammad, for me, is an irrelevant in the chain. It is
Oh my
from
God.
Allah.
If he's
Allah.
irrelevant, then what's the point
one
of
second.
What's the
How do
Quran?
you know?
If it's from Allah. That is the question.
Okay.
Muhammad is a part of that process, but he's not the source of it.
How do you know it's from Allah? Okay. Okay. Now remove Muhammad out of the picture as well. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hadith is gone. Muhammad is gone. How do you know it's from Allah?
That is a completely huge other discussion. It's nothing related to the hadith, my friend.
I am saying Hadith is gone.
But I'm not interested.
I have already.
I'm interested in the discussion of, do we need the hadith for
We're not
for
discussing
Islam?
the Hadith anymore. I've
I
conceded
am.
defeat.
I'm
saying I'm
I am
finished.
discussing it. You cannot just change the topic.
Well, why are you killing a dead? Why are you killing?
So your view
Why are
is-
you killing
your
a
view
dead
is-
animal?
Your view is
It's already Hadith
your
is
view
already dead.
Your view is
According
reject the
to
hadith,
you,
reject the Quran.
according to you, Hadith is dead, and I accept that. Okay, you don't accept Hadith, no problem with that. Let's throw Hadith in the sea. We have done that,
Listen,
and we've done the janazah.
Stop.
Okay, now
give me
now,
one example from the Quran that the hadith is required. That is the
I
argument.
don't even accept as a skeptical.
If you're not going to be part in that discussion,
Wait.
which is the discussion
Marwan.
I came to you with,
Marwan.
there's no point to talk.
Marwan,
So you don't want to talk about what he's asking you.
Marwan.
No, because that is beside the point right
Marwan.
now.
He's asking why you believe what you believe. Why do you believe what you
Let's say I'm a skeptical.
That is irrelevant. I don't have to justify that.
Marwan.
What you have to answer is what I asked you, and that is justify the hadith
Marwan,
from the Quran.
you claim-
If you cannot do that, then admit defeat and the discussion is over.
I have already admitted defeat.
Well, the discussion is
Okay.
over.
Okay. I know. He's we're going through a very
So,
good.
okay, so if you're not
So
going to
now-
answer the
so
question,
now it is-
I don't want to go around in a circle.
Marwan,
Answer the question.
It is now clear to all of us
It's not clear
at
to
least
anyone.
to me,
You are diverting.
you are not able.
diverting.
Wait, you're not able to tell us how the Quran came from Muhammad to you. You have failed, utterly failed to demonstrate that. Now, do you want me to demonstrate how Hadith came to us and the Quran? You want me to demonstrate? Are you going to be silent?
You try and I'll answer.
Okay.
I'll be as silent as you are. You're interrupting me all the time.
Okay. Now.
You're interrupting
Very
all the
quickly,
time.
I will explain to you.
Justify from the
Okay.
Quran the need
Okay,
for hadith.
I will
justify from the Quran. I don't care about the hadith justifying itself. The Quran is the muhaymin. If you cannot justify from there, you
What
have
is
nothing.
the Quran? How do you know it came from
Justify the
Muhammad?
need for the Quran.
Okay.
But
I don't
for
accept.
the
Let's say, A'udhu billah, thumma a'udhu billah. Let's say I'm not a Muslim. I'm a non-Muslim asking questions about the Quran. I don't believe in the Quran. Let's assume, okay, for argument's sake, I am asking you a very simple question. You are a Quranist. I'm asking you, can you please prove to me with absolute certainty that what you claim to be the Quran is exactly what Muhammad taught 14 centuries ago?
How
Can
is that
you?
related to our discussion that I started with?
I already explained that I'm not a Muslim. Let's say I'm.
No,
let's say,
you cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Why not?
You have to take part in the discussion. You are a Muslim.
You're gonna force me to become something I'm not.
You accept the Quran and you accept the Hadith. I am asking you.
Shall I get someone else to ask you the same question?
Because you're diverting, because you are not able
he's not
to answer the question that you're asking.
You're not understanding, Marwan. Let me explain now. Let me simplify things. The reason why
he's stubborn. We started with
You're
one
avoiding. 1 second.
He's avoiding.
For everyone who's watching this, you're avoiding answering the question because you got a brain.
Because you're going around.
There's a reason you're not answering the question.
There's a reason.
Because you know, when you start to explain how the Quran came to you, when you start to explain how the Quran came to you, game over.
Yes, there's so many flaws.
Game over. You will, with that process, when you start to explain, you will actually start to substantiate the signs of Hadith.
That's why you don't want to answer.
That's why you don't want to
The signs
answer.
of Hadith and the Quran are completely
That's why you
different.
don't want
No,
to
they're not.
answer.
Yes, they
That's
are.
why you don't know.
No, they're not.
That's why you don't know.
You don't know anything about it.
How?
That's what you think.
How?
1 second, let me ask
No,
you.
guys, I know what I'm doing. This is why I'm asking him. Explain to me how the Quran came to you. He is not doing it for the past 15 minutes. Now it's 20 minutes. For the past 20 minutes, he has failed to do it. He refuses to do it.
Half an hour.
Half an hour? Okay.
Because you are not taking part in the original discussion. You
is
are
the
going around.
This is the discussion.
It's not the discussion. You don't define it. Okay?
Have you
started about where does the hadith justification come from, and then you go around everywhere else.
Have you seen the
That
cartoon?
is not a discussion.
Marwan.
Don't try bullshit technique with me, okay?
Marwan. Marwan, have you seen that cartoon Kung Fu Panda? Okay, when he lands on this what do you call this baddie? What's his name? You know the snow leopard. He lands on it. He goes, "You're a big fat panda." He goes, "No, I'm the big fat panda." Yeah. So this is the discussion. Okay.
No.
Wait.
No, you don't define the discussion for me, okay? I came to you to tell you, and to ask actually about justify the need for hadith from the Quran. Then you go around all these other ways which are not relevant to this specific discussion.
Okay, wait. You're asking me to justify the child without the mother. I'm asking you where the mother where did the mother come from? Once you start to explain, Marwan. Let me finish.
Interrupt me all the
Once
time.
you start to explain where the mother came from, what she did, how she lived, how she nurtured the child, then you will, by extension, start to understand where the child came from. But you want me to ignore the mother? No, don't talk about the mother. Explain where the child came. I'm trying to take you to the mother. I'm telling you, the child came from the mother. You're saying, no, I don't want to know the mother. I want to know the child.
No.
So
I'm saying, pause it. We both, at least one thing we both agree on, for the sake of this argument, is we both agree there is the Quran, which we believe in. Okay? Let's take that as the first point and say, okay,
we know
agree.
why we believe in it. Why do you?
Yes.
Why do you?
In theory, that is
Why do you?
completely irrelevant.
No, it is relevant.
It's not.
very relevant.
It's not relevant
You have to
at all.
understand. And also, 1 second. You know your initial question. You asked that you keep saying, let's go back to. He answered it.
He did not.
He answered it. You know what
What
you
did he
said?
say?
What did you say?
What did he
you
say?
say, no, according to my logic, that does not make sense. How do you know? He said, I know because of a hadith. I know because of the commentary of the Quran. You said, no, I'm using my logic. So now he's proving to you how his logic of using the ahadith and the tradition is actually valid. You don't want to go down that route because you know he'll prove it.
No, because
that's
point
why.
is,
That's what's going on.
I'm asking you for specific details, not a general, all-encompassing 20-hour discussion.
I've been dealing with these topics for the at least 10 years.
15 years.
Okay, good. You know more than me.
Then why can't you
teacher.
explain it?
Because
you're my
are
teacher.
going the wrong way about
okay.
it. I'm saying
you have been studying it 15 years.
Let's take for granted both of us the Quran.
Okay, wait.
Now that we both agree that there is a Quran.
Have you studied the Quran for 15 years? You have?
Bits and pieces over time.
Okay.
But
okay.
I don't claim to be.
Where are the earliest manuscripts of the Quran? Start naming them. Number one. Start naming them.
I don't have it in my memory. I read many things.
15 years. You said you studied. I only studied for 10 years, less than you, but I know where they are.
Because I'm not taking part in these debates all the time, so I don't have it in my memory all the time.
So this shows that I am more of a Quranist than you are. Okay, no, why? Because I know exactly where the manuscripts are. I know what the chains are.
Can you name them, please?
I know what the chains are. Who transmitted the Quran? Where the Quranic readings? Where the differences are? In the reading. Okay, why there are differences? I have studied all that process. You don't want to discuss it for a reason.
I've actually read about all of that myself.
That's
okay,
the Quran.
So why you not explaining that to me?
Because it's something that I read and I don't record in my mind because I don't have to take part in the debate.
Let me ask you
why you're
another
Quranist then? If you're not convinced,
because the hadith is illogical and has no basis in the Quran. That is why.
It seems like you have a personal thing against the hadith. We're not talking about the hadith
logical
anymore.
thing against
We're not.
illogical.
Okay.
How do you know your logic is correct? How do you know logic is correct? Your logic can be wrong.
Prove me wrong.
No,
I've already shown it.
You have not. You've taken around completely different topics.
Let me say one thing.
I'm asking you, justify from the Quran.
Let me say one thing.
That the hadith is
Okay,
required.
Let me say one thing.
I will do it.
Let me
Wait,
say
one final point.
Please do.
And I'm done with this discussion after
No,
that.
let me say one thing before
Okay,
you say that. Let me say one thing before you say that. You're justifying your understanding of the Quran through your logic. Yeah, that's fine. Yes,
as best I can.
As best as you can. You were born and raised somewhere, right? You're in a society.
Makes sense,
You
yeah.
were born and raised, etc. You went to school, etc.
conditioned.
And you were conditioned in that society.
You assume. You don't know that.
Okay, that's fine, no problem. Your logic will not be consistent with every single person's logic. Who did the Quran come
Logic,
from?
by definition,
Who did the Quran come
is
from?
always consistent.
No, it's not always consistent.
Then it's not logic.
No, it depends on who's speaking.
No.
It's subjective.
We're not talking
It's
a
subjective.
relativistic view of things
It's
here.
Logic
subjective.
varies
It's
from time to
subjective.
time, from place to place.
It's subjective.
That's not
Something
logic.
that's logical to you is not logical to
Yes.
Mr. X.
I'm talking
or Mr.
about
Y.
logic in a careful manner.
Let me come back to the question now. Do you know we have manuscripts from the time of the Prophet of the Quran? Do you know?
Yes, I'm familiar. Ones that have
Okay.
been dated to before he started and after. I'm familiar.
Do you
with
accept them?
Birmingham manuscript? Right?
Okay. Do you accept them?
Allahu alam. I haven't seen it. I haven't assessed it. I can't say it for sure.
Okay. Do you accept them as belonging to the companions of the Prophet or not? Simple one, yes or no. If they come from the same time, when the companions are alive, there's only one logic that follows. And here your logic, I don't know, for some reason fails. Okay?
Because I'm careful, unlike you.
Okay. So who wrote those? Who wrote those manuscripts? It has to be companions.
Most likely it is.
No, why most likely? What the Chinese were writing them?
Because I am not Allah and I do not know for certain the
Okay,
history.
okay.
No, why is your logic
Wait.
consistent?
Now, have you read those manuscripts carefully?
No, I have not read that manuscript.
Okay. Do you know about the inferior text?
Yes, that can be behind it, and you can get that
Okay.
to Ultra
Have you read it? Okay. Now this is the main point. The Hadith literature tells us that there were certain variations in the Quranic text. In the early Quranic text, certain companions of the Prophet were reading the Quran in different ways. That's why we have the Hadith of Hisham and Umar bin Khattab reading Surah Al-Furqan. Okay? They were both reading it differently, and they went to the Prophet. He doesn't accept it because he is a Quranist.
Correct.
Okay. Now the Quranic manuscripts amazingly confirm what the Hadith is telling you. When you read the inferior text in the manuscripts that date from the Prophet's time, those differences that have been documented in the Hadith literature are exactly there. From a material parchment that was recorded, dated, written, penned, scribed in the time of the Prophet or very close to his time by the companions. Now, what do you have to say on that?
Well, yes, actually, I have a
So, yes, tell us why. So why are those differences there?
So until there's some time that I can analyze that, I'm not going to speak like I'm an authority. But let me pause it. Okay, let me pause it.
Okay.
Now you say, and I'm just going to accept what you say because I have.
I can pull it out right now and show you the images right now. Palimpsest. You want to see them? The Quranic palimpsest. Here, right here. Okay. The text.
Now again,
let me finish
answering the question.
This, no,
hadith from the Quran.
I have done it. I already. But you
He has
have
done
not.
it. He has done it. You don't accept it. He has done it. He's done it. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when
Are
Allah,
you serious?
one second, when
Wait,
when Allah
Musa,
speaks
stop
about
it.
His dhikr in the Quran,
Have you analyzed that? Have you analyzed
no,
it?
have you analyzed it?
Yes, actually.
Based on what? Your logic.
What is
based
dhikr?
on your logic?
When it
I'm
says
sorry.
ati
Do you
Allah-
accept His logic?
Yeah.
Do you accept His logic? No, we don't accept the logic.
Because you're preconditioned, my friend.
No,
This-
you oh my God. Okay, that's fine.
These parchments are dated to mid 7th century when the companions of the Prophet ﷺ were alive. Majority of them were alive. Okay, because the last companion of the Prophet to have died in the year 110 Hijri. It was Amir Abu Tufail. Okay. A companion called Amir Abu Ad-Dosi. Okay, no. That's Tufail Ad-Dosi is someone else. This is Amir Abu Tufail is a different person. Tufail Abu Amir, sorry. Tufail Abu Amir is the last companion of the Prophet to have died. Anas died in 94. Okay, this parchment is before Anas died, long time before Anas died. It has an inferior text, which has been dated to have come from Uthman's time. Okay, it's Uthmanic Codex. The companions of the Prophet had written this. Those variations which we find documented in the Hadith literature in terms of ahruf are there. Okay, so that confirms at least those reports on ahruf are absolutely correct. In the light of material evidence we find from the time of the companions. You have no legs to stand on as a Quranist.
Well, let me answer your point.
Yeah.
Two things. Scribal errors can happen in every time. And
No, these are no scribal errors.
Listen.
These are no scribal.
Listen.
You know what scribal error is?
Wait a minute. Let me finish my point. Then you say something. That's how you take part in the discussion. Number one, it is possible to have scribal errors at any point, and to correct them makes perfect sense. Number two, the concept of ahruf in itself, nobody actually understands it. As Suyuti and others have said, they do not understand these hadith.
Yes, he's right. On ahruf, we have 30 opinions, nearly 30 opinions. The scholars of Islam did not have the evidence we have today. Suyuti didn't have it, Ibn Hajar didn't have it, other authorities.
Most of the evidence you have now comes through him, Al-Burhan.
I'm confirming what you're saying, okay? So let me finish. Okay? Most of these classical scholars didn't have the evidence we have today. Okay? Now what we have today actually 100% confirms one opinion in particular, and that opinion is what? There were 7 types of variations in the Quran in the pre-Uthmanic text. What did Uthman do when he standardized the text? Okay, when he put the Quran in one reading, for example, what did he do? What did he get rid of? This is a very interesting question. What did he actually remove? Okay, from the text. There were 7 types of different variations. Okay, what are they? Taqdeem and ta'khir, as we are told in the Hadith literature. They were ta'nis and tazkir. You know what these things are? You know what these things are? You know. So how can I, okay?
Because where did what did he use? He used he used a mushaf that was with a wife of the Prophet. Correct or incorrect? Yes or no?
Do you believe that?
I'm saying this is your position.
No. Do you believe that? I'm asking you. Do you believe that?
I'm saying that's a valid historical position as far as I'm concerned.
Where did it come from?
Where does that come from?
Where did it come from?
Because for me,
Is it in the Quran? Is it in the Quran or in the Hadith? That position you just
show yourself,
brother.
You just show yourself.
I've been speaking.
You just took a gun
Yeah,
to show
exactly.
The Hadith gives you contradictory views on the
every single thing you will claim about the Quran is going.
You believe in Hadith.
Pointing
You
back
just
towards
proved
me.
it.
I do not
You just
believe
proved it. You just used it as
So you
Hadith as a religious source has no basis.
It has been recorded. You said that's a valid historical position. I'm asking
Where
you,
does it come from?
where does that position come from?
That's valid.
It is in the Hadith literature. So you choose to believe in some and reject others. So when a report goes in your favor, you like it, you like the content.
There's 2 things. Okay, number 1, Hadith as a religious source is one topic. Number 2, if it may have some sort of historical source, that's a different thing. When I say it's a valid or it's a logical position historically, as in I see there's no reason why it could be wrong.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question.
Answer my question first.
So do you accept the Hadith are logical?
I don't.
I'm going to ask you.
Okay, so why are you accepting?
I'm going to ask you a question.
Prove to me
I'm
the
going to
hadith
ask
is
you a
required
question.
from the Quran.
I'm going to ask you a question now.
Prove to me the hadith is required from the Quran. That is the question.
Wait,
I don't
wait,
want any
wait.
other answer and every other
wait,
question.
Wait, I've already proved that.
You have not.
With those, this has been recorded.
Yeah, it has.
Okay,
Ma
wait,
afa'ullah.
wait.
What is that?
Okay, wait.
Is it hadith?
Wait, my brother.
Did
This is
Ahmed
going to go
Quran give the
online.
hadith to the
This is
Prophet?
going to go online. Let people decide. If people think I'm a stupid, whatever.
You're not taking part in a logical
Okay.
discussion. I'm asking you a question. Answer that question.
I'm going to ask you a question now.
No. Answer
I'm
my
gonna ask
question
you a
first.
question. I'm going to ask you a question.
Answer my question first.
I will.
No, answer it first. That was the start of the discussion.
What is the question?
Give me evidence from the Quran that you need the hadith.
First, you give me evidence, and I'm answering your question by posing a bigger question. Give me evidence that the Quran is what Muhammad taught.
Irrelevant. Let's pause.
Why is
before we
that
go to the
irrelevant?
Quran.
I don't
Because
accept.
that's not the discussion.
Let's say
That's not the
I don't
discussion.
accept your view of the Quran.
I don't accept your view of
it.
anything, if that's the case.
No problem with that. So that's why we're talking. So I'm asking you to now give me a standard you use to judge the Quran. How do you know it's the Quran Muhammad taught? You don't have an answer for me. For the last 45 minutes, you don't have an answer for me.
My question is, give me evidence from
And
the
now
Quran
I'm going to
that
tell
hadith
you.
is
Now I'm
required.
going to tell you why hadith is authentic. We have in Bukhari certain reports from the Prophet that have three individuals between Bukhari and Prophet Muhammad, and we have these reports are 22 in number. 22 reports in Sahih al-Bukhari, Bukhari's collection, and there are others with 4 individuals between Bukhari and Muhammad. So Bukhari states, Haddathana or Haddathani Makki ibn Ibrahim. Makki ibn Ibrahim was a teacher of Imam Bukhari. He had a teacher called Abu Ubaid.
You're not answering my question.
Let me finish.
You're not answering my
Be
question.
patient. He had a teacher called Abu Ubaid. Abu Ubaid's teacher was Salma ibn al-Aqwa, a companion of the Prophet, and he narrated from the Prophet. So between Bukhari and the Prophet there are 3 individuals, and there is no broken link. They are all connected to each other. They all learn from each other, and the chain is uninterrupted. Now tell me, when Bukhari narrates from this chain, why is it a lie? Why is it not trustworthy? Tell me why.
Because the very nature of oral transmission is difficult to ever say that it's preserved. Let me give you one example. What about
So the Quran is, by that standard, the Quran is redundant. By that standard, the Quran is redundant. Oral transmission.
No, it's not.
Quran is oral transmission.
Because it was recorded in his life.
Okay, it's oral, still oral. It's still taught
as well.
It's Quran. It is read. It is qara'a.
It goes against your point.
It's not.
Okay,
Listen.
So
Wait a minute,
every
stop.
argument you're going to throw against me,
You're not
is going to
answering
fire back at you.
The original argument you're not giving an answer for. And also, let me give you one example.
Okay, now you...
No, stop. Let me give you one example. The supposed hadith about the Prophet's final sermon.
Yes.
You're familiar with that?
Yes.
There are at least 3 different versions of it where he says, I leave you the book of Allah, or I leave you the book of Allah and my example, and I leave you the book of Allah and my family. That is supposedly a very widely observed narration, and yet in the key area it has 3 major differences. Why don't you answer that?
3 what? Sorry?
3 major variations of a supposedly widely...
I understand your question. Now,
Yes, thank
from
you.
that question, you conclude that the incident is untrustworthy.
No, I'm giving you an example how your
I'm
supposed
trying to-
oral
I'm
transmission
I'm
of
trying to
hadith
get to the bottom
is,
of it.
is reliable. I'm giving you an example how a key point is changed in a short period of time.
I'm going to ask you a question now. To answer your question, I'm trying to make a point. Okay, this is what we call a logical discussion.
So answer, where in the Quran does it justify the hadith?
Hello.
No, these are all extra topics. I want
No. I'm answering
topic.
a question. In these 4 variations, are there commonalities, similarities?
Yes.
Right? So what do we get? That the similarities are definitely what the Prophet had said, right? Yes. Right? Okay,
Maybe.
I'll give you an example. Abraham Lincoln delivered a speech, his presidential speech, for example. There are 4 versions of it. 4 versions. All versions vary from one another. Okay? What we do know that Abraham Lincoln definitely spoke, definitely delivered a speech, and the content of that speech are pretty much determined by looking at the 4 versions, by looking at similarities. Likewise,
So you're putting your faith.
Likewise, these 3 versions of the speech of the Prophet a fact is established that he definitely delivered a speech, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the content of his speech are pretty much determined by looking at the similarities of the speech. Okay, and
We have a key difference.
And when you try, wait. What
key difference.
Have you studied history ever? I'm a student of history, by the way.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, do you know what historiography is?
I'm familiar with some historical techniques.
There are two options in front of you. You either go by conventional rules of historiography, how historians use historical events and how they determine what is true or what may not be true, or you come in with your own logics, like you are today. You know,
Like you are.
You know.
He's a student of history.
Okay, I'm giving you. Ask me where I got the standard from. I'll give you the standard, right?
The standard
Okay.
defined by who?
Okay, by historians, by traditionists, people who have been studying.
The same historians who would maybe reject that the Quran, or who would reject the Hadith like many do. Do you accept their standards as well, or just the standards that suit you?
Which historian rejects the Quran? You just made a claim. What historian rejects the Quran?
That it exists is a different story, but I'm saying about it being preserved, for example, or that Muhammad.
What historian, for example, says that it doesn't come from Muhammad? Name one. Muslim or non-Muslim, name one who says it doesn't come from Muhammad.
Making empty claims, man.
No. For example,
Nice talking to you.
Patricia Crone.
I've got a headache now.
You're making empty
Nice
claims.
talking to you.
You're making
Someday,
empty
inshallah, when you answer that the Quran proves Hadith, we'll have a discussion.
After this discussion today, I am more of a hadithist now. Okay, I am
May
not.
Allah forgive you.
I will take out the hadith from the sea now and adopt it even more now.
You have not defended
Okay.
it even one bit.
For half an hour.
May Allah guide you.
Half an hour.
The question is not related to the topic.
May Allah guide you.
You can't never
Likewise
answer
for you,
that question.
inshallah.
You need to humble yourself. You didn't listen to anything he said.
Half an
He didn't listen
hour.
to anything I said.
You made up your mind.
You didn't answer my question
You have
even
already
once.
made up your mind, brother. You have already made up your mind. It's very clear. Because you didn't listen to anything he said.
Did you answer my question once?
Answer his
No, you
question.
did not.
You can move forward.
You have already made up your
We
mind.
started with
You're
the
using the
question.
Quran as a premise, right? Right?
Oh, you know when the heart is closed.
You see, this is the problem. You're claiming logic, but you don't have logic.
I have a lot of
Okay,
logic. More than
you're
you, for
claiming the
sure.
Quran as your basic premise, right? Right?
Not a
you're
premise.
saying no. It is your premise. You're saying the Quran is what? You're saying that. Show me in the Quran
Yes.
where it says the Hadith is a logical.
I'm saying
Okay,
this
wait.
is a mutually accepted source of evidence.
No,
Let's
it's
just
not.
use that.
It's not. In your case, it's not.
So you don't accept the Quran?
No, I do accept the Quran.
No, you don't.
It is mutually accepted. Okay.
Therefore, you start from that point.
Wait. I accept the Quran because I am very consistent with my standard. Okay. When I accept something, I have a standard to accept it. You do not accept that standard. You have no legs to stand on. You cannot believe the Quran for rejecting the Hadith. If you reject the Hadith, you are by extension rejecting the entirety of the Quran.
You have no
Do you
choice.
believe in abrogation?
Yes, I do.
We do. Yes.
And where do you base that from?
From the Quran.
Really?
Yes.
It's mostly from Hadith, actually.
If I show you in the Quran, then
I have actually studied that in detail. Go ahead and try.
and then you're going to use your logic too.
Have you read a book by Luay Fatouhi, Abrogation in the Quran and Islamic Law? A detailed analysis.
No, I
on
haven't
this
read that
topic.
book. No,
I recommend you read it.
I have. Okay.
It analyzes the hadith on the topic, it analyzes the ayahs on the topic in great detail, taking all of the analysis of previous scholars on that topic.
Okay. The thing
You
is,
disrespect the Quran by your acceptance of the hadith. With
Now,
regard to abrogation,
after-
with regards to, for example,
after this discussion today, at least in the future, you will think twice before you throw the Quran in the middle of a discussion without being able to substantiate its authenticity. I'm
think
asking
twice
you
about talking with somebody who will not answer a
brother,
question.
I have had long discussions with giant Quranists. I think you're a student. I have had discussions with giant Quranists, and I only asked them one question: how did the Quran get to you? And I was not disappointed even today because you couldn't answer the same question. They
Because that
cannot
is not the
answer this
topic today.
question.
That's not the topic today.
They cannot answer this question because they don't want to answer this question.
Because
they
if
don't
they
want to.
answer the
Because
question,
the moment they start answering the question, describing the process to me, it will start to become clear that they are inconsistent. They are being hypocritical.
so do you accept the
About-
hadith because of history or because of the Quran?
Both. Both.
I challenge you to give me any evidence from the Quran.
I challenge you to give me evidence from the Quran.
He did not.
I challenge
He
you.
did. He told you.
Brother, wait. Brother, are you, Marwan, I can see that you are an intelligent person.
Maybe.
Okay, your brain works. You're talking to me. You're speaking. You are analyzing questions. You have cognition. You're giving me intelligent answers. Why are you refusing to accept a simple fact we're trying to clarify to you. That
Because it's irrelevant.
No. It's not
relevant.
irrelevant.
It is.
It is a directly related question.
It's not.
I'm saying, okay, I'll tell you why it's relevant. Now I'm going to simplify it.
I know why you think it's relevant. I know why you think.
Marwan,
but
can I
this is
finish?
not the question.
Marwan, can I finish? We use the same standard to believe in the authenticity of the Quran. We use to believe in the authenticity of the Hadith. Okay, now this is why it's relevant. I am asking you, because you throw away Hadith in the sea, we don't, okay? The reason why we accept Hadith, because we accept the Quran by the same standard. What you do is, you divorce the standard of the Quran completely from the discussion. You want to stick to the Hadith. The reason why we take you to the Quran, to show you how inconsistent you are, because you cannot possibly, in any shape or form, explain to me as to how the Quran came to you without using that process. That same process, the Hadith came to us through. Okay? Do you understand the relevance now? Do you?
I understand what you're trying to do, but you're actually not doing it.
Did you understand it? Did everyone understand the relevance? Now everyone agrees there is relevance, except you. Do you now accept?
No, I do not. because
we cannot continue.
Because logically speaking, even if the hadith is perfectly preserved, let's posit that, even if it's perfectly preserved, if the Quran tells you not to follow it, you cannot follow it.
I am saying
Correct or incorrect?
Wait.
Correct or incorrect?
Why are you using the Quran when you can't prove it? Why is the Quran important to you?
That's not my task now.
That's a good question.
The point is, even if we accept the hadith is perfectly preserved, if I can demonstrate to you from the Quran that it should not be followed, you still have to accept
That will not happen. You know why? That will not happen. You know
because
why?
you won't accept any argument.
No. That will not happen.
It will
Because the
happen.
hadith will never contradict the Quran.
It does.
No, it does not.
On the topic of abrogation, on the topic of the punishment
Bring
for
one
the
with
adulterer.
reference.
I think it's clear
The
now.
adulterer. Bring one. The
I think
adulterer.
it's clear that
Punishment for the adulterer. Where does that come from?
Contradiction.
Where does it
Funny
come from? In the hadith, it mentions about, supposedly there was an ayah for stoning. Supposedly there was the punishment for stoning. But we don't find it in the Quran because of abrogation. It has also only the whipping that is in there. Hadith contradicts the Quran. Number two. But when you finish,
Are you married?
When you finish,
Are you married?
Listen, that's not the topic.
Are you married? I'm asking you a question.
When you finish your
Are
fasting.
you married?
When do you finish your fasting?
Are you married?
Is it at Maghrib or is it at Layl?
Marwan, are you married?
The hadith says Maghrib, the Quran says Layl.
Marwan.
Contradiction.
Marwan, are you married?
Irrelevant.
Are you married?
Irrelevant to the topic.
Let's say he is. Let's say he is.
Okay, do you have wet dreams?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
You don't have the male, okay. So if you've never discharged as a male in your life,
That is not something I'm talking to you about.
do you have ghusl after it? I'm coming to the question you're asking.
Once again, irrelevant.
I'm coming. It's not irrelevant.
It is
Every
irrelevant.
single thing we are discussing
No,
today is
it's not.
relevant.
It is
Besides
not.
hadith.
Making it out
I'm
like you're talking about the
fundamentally
Quran.
about the logic
Do
of
you,
accepting
do you
hadith.
have a bath after discharging? Whether you have a wet dream or if you've had intimacy with your wife, do you have a bath after it?
I do ghusl.
Ghusl, why?
Because it says ghusl in the Quran.
It doesn't say after the intimacy with your wife. Show me now in the Quran where it says that you have to have ghusl after intimacy with your wife or after janaba. Show me.
It doesn't
Show me. Why do you have ghusl then? Why do you have ghusl then?
because you should clean any part.
No.
Okay, listen.
Okay, no. Wait. You have ghusl after janaba.
You're
After
working
janaba.
backwards. You're
Janaba
working
is
backwards. You're
major-
working backwards.
No.
You cannot say we do this.
No,
we don't
no.
find it in the Quran. Therefore,
You see
the
what's
Quran is
backwards?
backwards.
It's not forwards.
You're running away.
You see-
This because you
all
guys
of
are
these
not following the logic of the situation.
Marwan,
Your trajectory is backwards.
Marwan, this is what we call hypocrisy at its peak. You are doing things that are from hadith, and you don't believe in it.
You quoted a hadith
This is the
15
most
minutes ago.
stupid thing to
You
do.
quoted
You
a
don't
hadith.
believe in something, you start practicing it. You're praying, you're making ruku and sujood.
Because if the Quran does not mandate it, everything else is optional. You understand?
Okay.
Logic.
Optional. Why?
Now it's
Why?
optional.
Why?
Because if it's
Who said this is an option?
Because if it's not in the Quran, it is not mandated. You understand the logic
You
of
just
that?
changed your argument completely.
That's why I'm saying.
Marwan, where did you get the
backwards.
idea of making ghusl from? Where did you get it from?
Because the term is used in the Quran. And ghusl
Yes,
means
ghusl, that is general ghusl, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
I do general ghusl.
After janaba. No,
I do general ghusl.
I asked a specific question. Okay. Do you believe in having ghusl after janaba? Do you? Simple question, be honest. Do you or not? Do you believe in it?
the term in the Quran uses janaba.
No, there's no term in the Quran janaba. Show me. There's no janaba.
It says
in the Quran.
junub.
Okay, what is it? Does it say ghusl? Make ghusl after it? Does it say make ghusl after it?
Mentions ghusl, I believe. If I recall
No, it
correct.
doesn't. Go show me. Show me. Show me. And that
Again.
term junub. Wait. That term junub is not for janaba you're talking about.
I know,
Okay.
I'm saying that says junub.
So you don't. No. That junub is for the neighbor. Okay. That junub. That means people who are living by your side. It's not for janaba. Okay. Show me in the Quran.
So you're not going to answer. You're not going to justify the hadith in the Quran.
Hello.
Yes or no?
Can you not
No,
see
no.
what's happening?
No, no,
here?
no.
He has.
Can you not
He
see
has
what's
not.
happening
He
here?
has. You don't
You're
accept
taking
it.
every other option in
You
your
have
hand.
blocked your mind. You completely blocked your
Because
mind.
the Quran should be your Furqan. And if you cannot demonstrate from the Quran, you're using something else as a Furqan. That is the point I'm trying to make.
Marwan,
Can you understand?
Why are you acting on hadith? Why are you practicing hadith if you don't believe in it?
Because I don't say you have to do anything that the hadith says unless it's in the Quran. You
So
understand?
why do you make ghusl after janaba?
I say I make ghusl before prayer if I need to. I didn't say
I
necessarily only
asked
after one
after
thing.
janaba. Do you believe in making ghusl after janaba? Simple question. Simple question.
He already said he does.
Wait, I'm asking him.
I do
Simple
ghusl for any of the relevant parts.
Marwan, why is it so difficult to speak simple English? Do you believe in making ghusl after janaba?
Do you justify the hadith from the Quran? You won't answer that question, yet you expect me to answer a million
Someone- let
questions.
me-
Yes,
quote some
I do.
Quran
Yes,
for you.
I do believe in that.
Someone
I've just answered your question. Can you answer my question now? That do you believe in making
me the
ghusl after
evidence.
janaba?
Give me the evidence.
Okay. Do you believe in making? I answered your
Okay,
question.
listen.
Can we be fair?
We're talking about logic here. Theoretically speaking,
Stop riding. Stop
What
riding.
logic?
I'm not running.
Stop riding. Stop riding.
Theoretically speaking, let's
Stop riding
say
your
for the
bike.
sake of practice, I don't practice anything in the Quran. If we talk about a logical argument and we say
Yes.
the Quran exists and we accept both of it, that it should be a book of
Yeah,
guidance.
it exists.
I'm saying
Ray.
demonstrate from
Ray.
that
of Ray.
the hadith is required.
Good. Very good question. Before I do that,
No, not before. That is the only question I'm interested in right now. And you keep on going every other direction.
okay. When the Quran says, "Ma yantiqu anil hawa in huwa illa wahyun yuha," what does the Quran mean by that? I believe it's talking about hadith.
That's in reference to the Quran.
Where? How do you know? How do you know?
Because
How do you know?
How
Your
do you
logic,
know?
right? Your logic. Your logic, right?
No, because we have evidence in the Quran of
Where?
Let me finish my sentence before
Yes,
you say where.
sure.
We have evidence in the Quran of numerous times, I'd say between 4 to 5 if I recall correctly, of the messenger being corrected for something he did in error. Correct? So for example, why did you leave the hypocrites go without that thing and so on?
Yes.
So if everything that he said is revealed,
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
then is it logical that he would have given leave to the hypocrites using the words that come out of his mouth that were supposedly revealed? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
So everything he said was not revealed. Yes or no?
Yes. Everything he said was not revealed.
Okay, so therefore
Yes.
my interpretation makes more sense than yours.
Yes. Okay. No, it doesn't. I'll tell you why.
Oh, yes, you just justified why it does.
No. I'll tell you why. Okay. Now, you say that only applies to the Quran.
Yes.
So anything other than the Quran, the Prophet said, is not trustworthy, right?
Anything that
Using your logic. Wait, did you understand his logic?
No. Let me
now
answer.
I'm responding. No.
Let me answer.
So
You asked the
anything
question.
other than the Quran, the Prophet said, is it trustworthy or not?
anything that he says other than the Quran does not become the foundation of deen.
Okay, wait. Is it trustworthy or not?
The people at his time must listen to him and follow him as the community leader.
What if,
and,
what if he's making mistake?
well, as a human
I'm
being,
using your logic because I don't believe in that logic, but I'm using your logic against your argument. So now tell me, if he is saying things X, Y, and Z, pray like this, give zakat like this, what if he's mistaken? What if Allah corrects him after a while?
well, if he corrects him, that answers the question.
Okay, so that means a lot of the things Prophet said other than the Quran are correct, right?
I would say
Yes,
I would
yes.
say that the Prophet was not
Okay.
claiming that everything he says was source of religion.
Okay, I agree with you 100%.
We agree with that.
I will help you even more than that when
there's another-
when
when there was
this
the
is
war,
and
the
the
war.
companions of the Prophet understood that. So when he commanded them to say so, for example, at the battle of Ahzab in war, he said, "Can we give half the harvest of this year to Banu Ghatfan to break the alliance of the invaders?" And the Sahaba, they asked him, "Ya Rasulullah, is it your command or is it your opinion?" Okay, because they'd made a distinction between the two entities. Command is from Allah, period. No debate, no discussion. Opinion, they had the option to either accept or reject. So the Prophet said, "This is my opinion. This is not an amr, because amr is from Allah, even though it's not in the Quran. Even though it's not the Quran." So the Sahaba, they knew that when he commands, it is from Allah. Okay, even though it's not in the Quran. That's what we call hadith. That's what we call hadith. Now,
So
wait.
you say hadith is revealed?
Yes, 100%. Authentic hadith is 100% revelation.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your evidence in the Quran for that?
وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. And I use your logic to show you how wrong you are, because now you admitted that not everything other than the Quran the Prophet said was incorrect. Rather, when he was corrected, that's when it became clear that he was incorrect.
I'm going back another way. I'm saying he would not have claimed that anything other than the Quran is in fact the source of religious guidance.
Okay, I understand that. But anything other than the Quran related to the religion, the companions, did they take it seriously or did they reject it? Simple question. I hope you understood it.
They would have to follow him as community leader. They would have to follow him.
No.
as war leader.
If he said,
How do you know he was the community leader? How do you know that?
Wait. In the Quran,
Allah wa Rasul wa ulul amr.
thank you. You're making my point for me.
So that's
Now,
our point.
Yeah. So when the Prophet told them things other than the Quran, for example, he read the Quran and he told them this is Quran. You to do this. For example, do charity like this, or have ghusl after janaba like you do, right? For some reason, okay? Have ghusl after, and they started to do it. Was that deen or was that optional?
Well, first of all, I don't accept that he would have made all these other pronouncements outside of the Quran.
Doesn't matter what you accept.
Well,
I'm asking you a simple question. Did he have companions?
Yes, I did.
Did he teach them other than the Quran?
I believe he would not have taught them any religion outside of the Quran.
You're not answering my question.
I just answered your question.
Okay, did he explain the Quran to them? Did he? Some of them came with confusions on the Quran. What does it mean? Okay, did he explain to them? For example, Ya Ukhta Harun. You know the story of when Mary was called the sister of Harun. Okay, and Mughira bin Shu'bah, one of his companions, went to the Christians of Najran, and they heard these verses. And they said, "Hold on a second. This is a mistake in your Quran. This is an error." And they said, "Why?" They said, "Mary was actually not the sister of Harun." Okay, no. This Mary, the Mary, mother of Jesus, was not the sister of Harun. That was another Mary. So the Quran has a mistake, because the Quran is talking about Mary, the mother of Jesus, not the sister of Harun and Musa. So this is an error. So Mughira bin Shu'bah got confused. Okay, he came back to the Prophet. Ya Rasulullah, can you explain to me? They asked this question. He said they are very right. They have asked a valid question, because this reference to Mary, Ya Ukhta Harun, is not a biological reference. It is an honorary reference. Like in the Bible, in the New Testament, Hannah is called one of the daughters of David. Is she a physical daughter of David? No. It's an honorary title. So the Prophet clarified, and Mughira bin Shu'bah went back and told them this is an honorary title. Every single pious person in Banu Israel was either called the son of Aaron, or the brother of Aaron, or the sister of Aaron, because of their piety. Okay? Likewise,
Now, ask you about the question on this, yeah? You know, it says in the Quran that we've sent Kitab al-Mubin and a light. Like Jalaluddin al-Suyuti, probably correct me if I'm wrong, said that this light was the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah, so isn't that following his sunnah? So you have to follow.
There's
the
no
Quran.
evidence that the light is referring to the hadith.
Okay, so you don't accept that. You don't accept
He
that.
doesn't accept it, no.
You don't accept that. So that's in the Quran. You quoted him
Okay,
something.
where is the Quran likening the hadith to?
they have
light?
made their mind up that they will never accept any reference, direct or indirect, to prophetic tradition. Let's not use.
Establish it.
Let's
don't make
let's
it
not.
question.
Okay. Now I'm asking you a question. Now this is the question I'm asking. When Prophet ﷺ taught his companions extra Quranic material, was that part of the religion, or was it just gibberish? What was it?
It was not part of the religion.
So why did they do it?
You think they did it based upon faulty transmission of hadith?
No, I don't think it.
I know. What's your evidence? Did you see them do it? Did you see them do it?
So when
Did you see them?
Okay, wait.
No.
Did you see the Quran be revealed?
No, I did not.
Then why do you believe
That's
it?
probably the same stuff.
Based
Why do you
upon
believe
own
it?
testimony and its logic
So
and
what do you-
coherence.
We believe in it for the same reason.
So the companions, all the other
say-
things they were doing were simply done for no reason. They were just a bunch of fools.
Because the Quran gives the minimal guidance and it gives the general direction as well of what people should do. And if they do extra stuff, based upon that,
All the commentary on the Quran by the Prophet should be ignored. even if it can be shown historically authentic.
You can't do that.
How do you understand the Quran?
No, 1 second.
By his logic, by his own logic.
How do you do Hajj? How do you do Umrah? How do you Salah?
Nothing.
Have you studied the Quran and studied the Hajj?
No, I'm just asking you.
I've actually done that.
No, Salah, Hajj and all that.
You seem to have studied so much, but you can't give us any difference.
So when you go for Hajj, what do you do?
Actually, I've written a document. I haven't learned it off. I'm happy to send it to you on it. I've
Okay.
extracted every bit of information in the Quran on that
Okay,
topic.
so how do you do Hajj? I'm asking you, how do you do Hajj? What do you do? On the 8th of Zulhijjah, what do you do?
So in the Quran, it mentions that Hajj can take place in the sacred months. The word used in the Quran is ashhur, okay, extra months. So the current practice, where it's done only in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah or whatever, that is in fact un-Quranic, because in the Quran it mentions you can do it in the well-known months.
So you can do Hajj in any other months.
The sacred months, yes. That is what the Quran says. I know you don't care about
You're
that.
finished, man. You're completely gone.
You don't care
dude.
about the Quran, obviously. It says the well-known
My
months.
friend, this is what happens.
Well, does it say months? Does it say that you can do Hajj in the well-known months, in the sacred months? Yes or no? Does it use the plural? Yes or no?
Let's read the verse.
Let's read
I guarantee you it says the plural months.
How can you guarantee me when?
Because I have read it, that's why.
Okay.
You also thought Janaba.
You will find, in fact, you are in
Yeah.
error by only doing it in 1 month.
So which verse is this? Show me.
Well, let me get out my document on this one.
Yeah. Let's go to the verse and see what it says. And I'm sure you will.
I'll be correct. That's what I'm
Okay,
sure.
let's
Why
see.
you even say it's a basic? You don't understand why we even believe in the Quran. That's the basic thing.
I understand why,
But why?
but I'm not here to give you a lecture on that topic. I'm here to discuss.
But it's the basic of your belief.
No,
If
it's
you
not.
believe that the Quran is the main
no.
thing, how can you
The
believe in the
discussion
Quran?
now is the Hadith a
No.
part of the religion based
the
upon the
Hadith.
Quran?
Forget
Yes,
it.
it is.
There's
Yeah,
no
we
forgetting
believe
it.
Yes, it is.
That is the topic of discussion.
Why do you even believe
not
in the
what-
Quran? Why do you even believe in the Quran?
For me,
Why?
I can. Doesn't matter why.
So
I
when
believe
the-
it.
It does
okay,
matter. Of course
okay.
it matters.
So when the Quran
but
says,
exactly, that's
when the
where-
Quran
what's the
says,
proof
when the
is
Quran says,
We've got proof.
so that you explain to the people. You know the verse?
1 second.
لِتُبَيِّنَ
1 second.
لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ.
1
You know-
second.
Do you know the verse I'm talking about?
1 second.
How many times do you pray a day out of interest? 3. Yeah, and not 5, is it?
2:197.
To what?
If you've studied the Quran and the timings of Salah, you'll only find 3. 2:197.
Only praise 3 times a day. Really?
I can send you a document on that if you wish.
Before we get to that, I have a very important question. It's Quran. It's Quran.
2:197 is what we're talking about now.
Okay. Wait.
We're talking about Hajj.
I promise we'll go.
2:197.
I promise we'll go to that.
After this. After this.
Okay, no.
After
no,
the-
no, no.
after-
Wait.
after-
Explain to me when Allah says in the Quran here. You believe Allah said that in the Quran, right? Allah revealed the Quran. وَأَنزَلْنَا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ. We have revealed upon you dhikr, which you say is the Quran. لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ so that you explain to people what has been revealed upon them. Okay, now when the Prophet is reading the Quran to them, Allah is saying so that you explain to them what has been revealed. So Allah is saying that explanation in the Quran is valid. Okay, so where is that explanation of the Prophet? Can you explain?
It's not your logic, that's for sure.
No, sorry. This thing, I have actually written documents on this. I don't recall them all in my mind.
You have written documents and you don't recall.
Because actually I'm
Because
prolific
actually
reader.
you don't believe in the information you're writing yourself. That's
I
why.
do believe in it.
That's why. Anyone who believes in something and writes it is actually there in the brain. It remains with you.
I write it
Okay.
because my memory is shit. That's why.
Okay, sorry, my
So,
friend.
I
don't
store
know.
it
I don't
somewhere.
know. Okay, can you explain to me when the Prophet is told in the Quran so that you may explain what has been revealed upon them? When the Prophet is explaining the revelation, where is that explanation?
If he is explaining-
and what is that? What do we call it?
If he is making clear or elaborating to them, it is
Yes.
only based upon the Quran.
Okay, fine. So that elaboration, which is not the Quran, because it is elaboration. Is that clear? The elaboration.
It's not adding.
Okay.
It's not adding. For
Okay,
example-
I'm not saying it's adding. I'm saying it's elaboration. Hear my words. That elaboration.
You're implying it's extra.
Can we follow that elaboration? Can we?
You're implying it's extra.
Okay, wait.
Explanation.
Okay. the explanation is not the words of the Quran. It is an elaboration. Can we follow that elaboration? Can we?
Okay, so let's look at this logically. Okay, now give me.
I don't care about your logic. Tell me.
believe in logic.
Tell me. We don't believe in logic. I don't use logic to judge the Quran. I don't.
You clearly don't use logic.
No, I don't. I do use logic.
Okay.
I do use logic.
Asking,
that's why I'm consistent.
You're asking
that's
me
why
a
I'm
question.
consistent.
You're asking me a question. Let me answer it.
I don't use logic to
Are you going
understand
to let me
the Quran.
answer or not?
Yes.
So, is it correct or is it not correct that throughout the life of the Prophet, after he got his first revelation, he was receiving revelation all the way through? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now Allah says in the Quran. No, wait.
How do you know that?
Because
do you
it
know
mentions
that?
in the Quran that it's revealed bit by bit in order to help him, and also we hear from they say and then say. So obviously throughout the period he is receiving revelations that help him, that calm his heart.
How
and
long
answer.
did he receive the revelation from?
To the best of my knowledge, based upon what's claimed in history, through the period from the
Why do you believe the history?
To be
Why
honest,
do you choose the?
honestly, it's irrelevant to me if it's 21 years,
This is
22
very
years, or 22
frustrating.
years.
No, it's very frustrating.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
It's not.
No, 1 second. You choose to believe history when you want to believe history, but you choose not to believe certain hadith because they don't.
Because the Quran is the criterion that you must use, not some texts that were.
Okay, so let's use that criteria. So when the Prophet ﷺ said,
wait. Hold on. He asked me a question. Let me answer it. So there's two things here. Number one, it could mean that he is making clear based upon the revelation that he has with him. And number two, Allah can send down revelation by which it clarifies some previous things. So for example, if we look at Surah number 4, ayah number 176, it says, يَسْتَفْتُونَكَ, as in they're asking you, and then Allah answers about the kalala, correct? So this, what happens is, it's possible that throughout his life, he is clarifying through the extra revelation that
Possible.
Allah gives.
It is possible. It's not certain.
no,
Well, the most likely thing is that that's what happens.
no, it's not most likely.
This is
the
why.
Quran is telling
This is
you.
why you are no different.
So-
you know the Christians.
so is Hajj
the
month
Christians
or is it
here,
month? It's
they
Hajj
read,
month
they
or
read
is
the
month?
Bible without the background. They don't care about the history of the Bible. They don't care who said what. They just start reading the Bible and start using their own logic to understand the Bible. And this is why they ended up with 1,000 sects. You go to Christians, there is a new sect every single street corner. Okay. With Islam, we have this tradition protecting the Quran and its
not,
meaning.
it's corrupting the Quran.
So what does the لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ mean? Tell me. So that you can explain to people. Now the Quran is giving authority. Quran is giving credence to that explanation of the Prophet.
Using your logic.
Okay. And now it is black and white in the Quran where it says so that you may explain to them what Allah has revealed to them. So Allah is not talking about the revelation itself. Allah is talking about the explanation. Is that explanation authoritative for us?
The answer is anything that would not be. The answer is anything that would not be in the Quran is not a valid source of religion from the Prophet or anyone else.
Sorry. Go again.
Anything that would not have been the Quran, there was no authority for the messenger to add anything extra to it.
I'm not saying extra. The Quran is not saying he's going to
Okay.
add extras. So because the Quran, to the contrary, says if you added anything into it, you would be punished. Yeah, thank you. So we're not talking about extras there, are we? The Quran is saying لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ, when you explain to them what Allah has revealed to them, that explanation, that commentary, that information to understand the Quran better, where is it and is it authoritative?
Okay,
according to the Quran.
So the thing is, you cannot take just one ayah without analyzing the context. There's another place where the messenger says that I have no ability to guide you. You understand that? You're familiar with that?
Yes.
I can show it to you.
I can quote the verse. Yes. It doesn't mean what you think it works. That guidance is to iman, to take shahada. The verse is إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. That, oh Muhammad, you cannot guide those you love. Right? This guidance is shahada. Al-Islam. This guidance is not explaining the Quran. So now you're again desperately trying to find a way out, but you can't, because the Quran is explicitly saying that when the Prophet explains, it is authoritative. If it's not authoritative, show me why not. In the Quran. Go on.
That would require something, and I could send you a document on it. I don't have it all in my mind.
Okay, so you don't know, right? So you say I don't know. So at least accept the fact that this verse is problematic for me. I'll go and do research and come back to you later. Is that fair?
What I can say is that my research on it, which I've documented, I don't have it in my mind right now.
Okay, but again, I'll repeat. It is fair to say that this verse is problematic for me. I will go and research it and come back to you.
That's the
Is that a
humble
fair?
thing to do. That's the
I don't
Right.
think it's problematic.
So then explain. Okay, he says it's not problematic.
explain.
Explain then.
That's the problem. When you say I, me, us, we, this is the problem people go to misguidance. Because if you don't go to the first three generations...
Ali, we've been here for last 1 hour.
This is the problem.
And we said all these things.
No,
We've said all
but
these
you need
things.
to highlight
Yeah.
it. Okay, anyone, every time I speak to somebody, I'm speaking to Qadian, he goes, I understood it, we understood it, us understood it.
No, we already said that. You're using your logic on everything. You're using your
I want
logic.
to hear this. Yeah, don't worry, I'm making a comment.
So you think this is not problematic? Can you explain why this is not problematic?
I don't.
Surah An-Nahl, verse number 44.
I will take my time to recheck my analysis on that topic, but I'm not going to make up something out of my mind.
So far it is problematic for you.
I don't consider it problematic unless I've analyzed
Okay,
it.
let me translate it again. وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ We have
decided to
revealed
reveal to you.
upon you.
I understand the
okay,
words, don't worry.
الذِّكْرَ Revelation, okay? لِتُبَيَّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ So that you may explain to people what has been revealed upon them. So it is not revelation Allah is talking about, it is the explanation that even the explanation
How do you
is
know,
authoritative.
How do you know the explanation is itself not another revelation in the Quran? Because
No,
if
it's not.
Because if it's being
It's
revealed,
not.
if it's being revealed,
Because Allah is saying لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ So, what did Allah reveal to them? What is Quran, right? So that you may explain to them what Allah has revealed upon them.
And-
So it is not the Quran.
and the messenger-
it is something outside of the Quran.
It's not.
Information. مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ
because if you look elsewhere, the messenger is made to say that he judges only by the Quran. Yes or no?
Where does it say that?
Let me get it for you.
The messenger judges only by the Quran. Okay. And if there's a problem, people don't understand the Quran, what happens? The messenger keeps quiet.
No, they understand it themselves.
So the messenger tells them, believe the Quran, believe the Quran, believe the Quran. Don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me. What do you think would happen to the companions of the Prophet?
No, when he asks the questions, Allah gives the answer in the Quran. That's why it says, قَالُوا
Okay, they do not find the answer in the Quran. Now what do we do?
Well, the Prophet can't make up an answer.
For example,
Also,
the fact that you believe in janaba, making ghusl after janaba.
2197.
That's very important. That's very, because he has already stated.
Hey,
that-
I don't make it a requirement.
Okay, but okay. Do you believe making ghusl after janaba?
I think it's a good practice.
Why?
Change your tune.
Why? You don't have to.
I never
there is no
said- I never
scientific
said-
evidence. There is no scientific evidence to suggest that it is something
Listen,
recommended.
I'm being
Scientifically,
I'm being
Why,
completely consistent.
it
I'm
brings
saying
back your mojo or something.
anything that's not in the, I don't need that to bring back my mojo. I don't know what help you need for that. So whatever is not in the
It's a joke,
Quran
Ahmed.
is not required. That is the general statement. A practice can be good, but it becomes not required. if it's not in the Quran.
Why is it good? Why is it good? Okay, what's your definition of
Once
good?
again.
What's your definition of good? Good. What is good?
2197. Does the Hajj say in months or month?
So why are you drifting to another topic? now?
Because you said we were going to go to that, and we have not got to it.
So you failed to address this one, right?
No.
Is that clear? لِتُبَيِّنَ
I gave you
لِلنَّاسِ مَا
some-
نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ You have no idea what this is.
No, I said
This is extra Quranic material taught by the Prophet. The Quran is saying it.
I posited a possible way, and I said I'm not going to say I have the answer until I've done my analysis.
Okay,
again.
okay, good. So this is pending, right? This is
don't say your Quran only then,
pending.
because if you
And
haven't
if it disproves your understanding, if it does, it's a big if, okay? If it disproves your understanding, then what? Will you change your mind? Then come back
Because
you become a hadithist?
if I find I'm in error, because I don't worship the tradition of elders,
Good,
I will
good.
do whatever it takes.
Oh, good. Shake
what
hands
do
on
you mean
that.
by do whatever it
Let's go to Hajj.
Because
now.
What
Let's
do you
go to
mean by
Hajj.
whatever it takes? What do you mean by that, Baba?
No problem, don't worry. Look,
whatever it takes,
at
that's
least,
fine.
you know the verse, yeah?
Whatever
It's Surah
needs to
An-Nahl.
be done.
Surah An-Nahl, verse 54. Remember that, yeah?
2197.
197. Okay, so what does it say about Hajj? What's your point? Are we
So
discussing?
you say it has to be in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, right?
You could have just gone to it.
I am saying that because the Prophet taught it.
What does the Quran
And he
say?
himself did it.
What does Allah say?
Himself. Did the Prophet do Hajj? Do you believe he did Hajj?
I believe so.
Okay, when did he do it? And why do you believe he did Hajj? Hold on. You believe. You said you believe.
Because Hajj is a requirement, and the Messenger would have done it.
So would have done it. So there's no evidence for it.
For me, historical evidence, whatever the method it may be, is irrelevant. I believe that the Messenger followed the revelation.
Okay, do you believe he did Hajj? It's a simple question. Do you believe he did Hajj?
I sure do.
Why?
Because
Where do you get the information
Because
from?
he would have followed the Quran. That's why.
No. You believe
because he is a
belief
Muslim.
has to be.
Because he is a Muslim and he follows the revelation.
Okay.
Therefore, he would do it.
So there is no confirmed evidence that whether he did Hajj or not, right?
There may be, but it's irrelevant.
So the matter is doubtful, right?
No, he did it, but
How do you know he did it? You just okay. When you're making a claim, Prophet did Hajj. Would have and did are two different things. Do you agree? Yes. Would have is still doubtful. Possibility is potentially true. Okay. Did means he did it. Certainty. So you're saying he did. Based upon what?
based upon the fact that he would follow the guidance of Allah.
No, would. No. Would. You're again saying the word would. That means doubtful.
Because
you said
I'm using I'm using that because he is dead.
No, but how
I can't
do you
say
know?
because he is following.
Then you can't say did.
How do you know about his character? How do you know about his character?
Because did is certainty. Did is certainty. Are you certain about it?
Certain about what?
That he did Hajj.
I believe that he would have followed the Quran, and I'm certain about
Why
that.
do you believe that for? Why do you believe that for?
Because he would have followed the guidance
Why
of
do you
Allah.
believe he would have
I'm done.
followed? No, 1 second.
I'm done with this discussion. Nice talking to you, Marwan. I hope you will go home and think before you sleep tonight that what you follow, whether it's true or not. And believe me,
It's
life
most certainly true.
Okay.
How are you so certain? He said he's going to go home and check.
There is a reason why we are.
Because I
There is
don't
a-
just make a plea.
Marwan. There's a reason. There's a reason all these people are hadiths. They're not a bunch of thick barbarians. Okay, they believe in things for a reason.
Are Jews
Okay.
thick? Are Jews thick?
Sorry?
No. Are Christians thick?
No.
But
No.
we still believe they're in error, right?
No. They are.
Yes or no?
They are deliberately in error. They are deliberately. I believe. Wait. They are some are deliberately in error. People like Jay Smith. He is deliberately. He's a liar. I believe. He's a liar.
Is he thick?
No.
He's not thick. No. So he can be intelligent.
Are
and
we deliberately in liar in error? Do you think I'm deliberately in error?
Do you think most Christians are deliberately in error? Even the intelligent ones?
They're ignorant. Am I ignorant of tradition? Do you think I'm ignorant?
Are they
Do you think-
deliberately?
okay.
Christians can be they can be sincere and intelligent and wrong.
Yes,
That's a
because
fact.
they're ignorant.
And also
because
Jews.
they're ignorant. They don't know
And
the history.
Jews
Do
can
I
be
know the
sincere
history?
and intelligent
Do
and
I know
wrong.
the history of our tradition? Do you know the? Do I know the?
You believe you do.
No, I believe.
knows it more than you. He's
I
been
can
in the Muslim
substantiate. Standing here, if you ask me questions, why do I believe in that hadith? I will substantiate my view as to why I believe it's true. Like the Quran, you asked me the question which I asked you for 20 minutes and you didn't answer
Because
as to
it's not
why
the
I
topic.
belive in the Quran. Doesn't matter. It's directly relevant to the topic. It is relevant to
Can
the
I ask a
topic.
question? Change the topic. You know this charter. Is it
It's fake.
Huh?
It's fake. It's not real.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not real.
Okay.
Forged. It's forged, yeah. Without even looking at the content, I'm telling you it's forged.
How do you
Because a lot of these charters attributed to the Prophet are not real. The ones we have are in authentic histories. Tabari has the Treaty of Najran. We don't need anything else if we have that.
What does it say? What does it say there?
Which charter is this? The monastery. Marwan, nice talking to you. Okay, no hard feelings. We keep talking again.
I have no hard feelings. But
Okay.
understand.
But I want you to think as to why you believe in things when you don't have any grounds to believe in them.
Okay. How about this? One thing before I go.
St. Catherine.
Please.
It's a
One
St.
thing before I
Catherine
go.
monastery.
One thing before I go.
It's a monastery. Yes, forgery.
How about this? For me, the approach of today's discussion is not consistent. It's too scattershot. How about, and I'm willing to do this in the honest spirit, we pick one very specific topic in the Quran on this topic of basically justifying the Hadith literature as a valid source of guidance. So we can decide in advance what it would be. Then we organize a specific methodical approach about it, and only on that one topic we discuss. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Usul of how we derive.
Yes. The methodology, how we derive authenticity or certainty for any document. And then I can challenge you in that debate on your understanding of the Quran, and then you can challenge you to throw that back on me for hadith.
The topic that I want to deal with, just let me finish before you say. The topic I would like to deal with is there evidence in the Quran that requires us to follow the Hadith as an external and separate source of religious law? Okay, so
And in that topic, it will be inevitable for us to discuss the Quran itself. It is inevitable. When you use a source as your source of evidence, we will have to challenge it.
No, we just pause it. We
And-
both accept it, therefore let's use that.
Sorry?
I'm saying we both accept it, so let's just
No.
move that.
We accept it based on different principles, so we're gonna.
So
challenge
we will
the
have to
principles.
agree on the usul, the methodology of debate. How do we how do we approach the debate? Okay, what we call the conditions of the debate. Okay, we will have to agree on the conditions of the debate and let's have a debate. No problem with that. We had a very good discussion today.
Well, today I have to say, no, it wasn't a good discussion, and that's because, unlike you, I don't do this very much, so I don't have everything prepared, ready to go in my mind.
I didn't come prepared for this topic.
Dude, you have a lot of experience.